What's up, everybody? Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour live podcast. And before we introduce everybody and get this thing underway, please get out and subscribe to the podcast link. It's on our YouTube page. Please subscribe to the YouTube page. I'm just saying it straight out. I'm begging you, please just go to YouTube, type in BODS Mayhem Hour, and give a subscribe and hit that little bell button there so that way you'll keep up with everything that we got going on. And trust me, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe for you guys and gals out there. So it's Friday, and as always, we're back this Friday. Last Friday, I took a Friday off because every now and again you deserve that. And I was under the weather too. I couldn't talk. I would sound like crap. But anyway, I'm back this Friday with a new co-host. I'll let him introduce himself.
What's up, everybody? My name's Jordan. Thank you, John, for having me on here. Going to be super cool to do this. John said he needed some eye candy, so here I am.
Well, no, the eye candy, the big super duper eye candy right here. I'm a full course meal and some dessert on the side. Oh god,
everybody needs an appetizer though.
So we're going to be talking about the upcoming 2022 rock and metal albums. There's a lot of stuff that's out there, and trust me, folks, we're not being biased to any of these albums, or some of these bands are our favorite bands, and you like what you like, and hey, that's totally fine. I have no problem with that. I'm sure Jordan don't have a problem with that either, but you like what you like. We're going to be talking about stuff that we are looking forward to, and some concerts that's coming back, which I'm glad concerts are coming back, but
that's huge.
Yeah, please, folks, be smart, wear your masks. I know I hate doing it, but you got to do what you got to do. Just keep everybody safe, man.
Let's been to 4 already, man.
Yeah, let's keep everybody safe. Who are some of the bands that you're looking forward to, man, coming out this year? I know some's already been released so far.
Man, the one that I was looking forward to probably the most that's upcoming soon anyway came out today, and that is Corpse Grinder, George Corpse Grinder Fisher, Cannibal Corpse. He put out a solo album today, and man, that thing rules. It is absolutely, like, it sounds nothing like Cannibal Corpse, but it's Corpse Grinder. He's awesome.
Hang on, I just got a message. I'm always getting these messages on here. John Snell said, "Don't forget Live Kill has a new album coming out this year." There's another band pick up their album that's coming out this year. So lots of stuff coming out. Once again, it's Live Kill. They've got a new album coming out this year.
I think Lamb of God also, they've got one.
They're working on.
Yeah, working on one.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday that they was working on one, supposedly. So,
Lamb of God, they're a band. I feel like they've definitely. I can't say matured. I felt like they've already got their maturity, but they've grown a whole lot in their, evolved more in their last few albums as they've gotten older.
Yeah,
like especially. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say that last album that they put out was marvelous. It was
it was killer, man.
Yeah.
Heck the one before that, like, even he started doing the clean vocals and stuff. They sound good though.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't phone in his clean vocals. Like, you can tell he works on them.
Randy's got a unique voice too. That's what I like about Lamb of God. That his unique voice fits that band perfectly. Even with the clean vocals, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. But that classic, heavy, graspy, kind of like death metal sound that he does.
Oh yeah,
that's a classic Lamb of God right there. But still, though, man, like you said, when he adds in the clean vocals, it's great. I mean,
if you've seen him live, man, which I saw them, he didn't do any clean singing, but man, he sounds great live too.
And this happens to me all the time because I get talking about this stuff and I just totally spaz out. My mind goes blank. But the last song they came out with, and they did a live version of it too, with a little kid.
Was it Memento Mori?
Yes, Memento Mori. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
My God, folks, listen to Memento Mori by Lamb of God.
It is heavy too.
And it would totally surprise you. It'd be like, this song's gonna be awesome, which it is awesome. But just the way The way
The
it
slow
starts
build
out,
up.
yes.
It's
It's like you're watching a little mini movie.
yeah, man. The music video, it's really good. Goes really great with it.
Yeah. It's like this guy is like he's having these, I guess, daydreams, these dreams. And then this little girl's like, wake up, wake
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
It's like, wake up, dumbass.
And that last wake up, man, he screams and it kicks in.
Yeah, that's good. That's
So
good.
good.
Yeah, it is. You were talking about Corpse Grinder, George Corpse Grinder with his new album that came out. Was you surprised with this a little bit with the sound of it? Because I know with reading up upon this, I've not listened to it just as of yet. Like I said,
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that I haven't got to listen to, but I am. But reading on this when they were talking about him coming out, he even said that it's going to be not on the same lines of Cannibal Corpse, stuff like that. So, what's your take on it, man? Did it surprise you or did it not surprise you?
it did. Honestly, it did. I was afraid going into it that it would just sound like more Cannibal Corpse. But even the first song, man, which actually has Eric Rutan, who is in Cannibal Corpse right now. Even the first song, man, it's got a lot of it has almost a lot of it sounds like it could be like Hatebreed, like the instrumentals sound a lot like it could be like Hatebreed. There's a lot of even like new metal aspects in there, but definitely a lot of like hardcore, a lot of beat downs in it and stuff. It's really surprised me.
And the biggest surprise to me is there are a lot of bands that each member has broken out on their not on their own, but they're still with the band, but they're just doing their own thing. You know, they're putting up their own EPs and stuff, which I think is great. And surprisingly, some of these EPs that's came out is not even on the lines of what the band that they're in. You know, the sound is totally different.
Really glad actually that you said that. That reminds me, Matt Heafy from Trivium.
Yep, there's another
has a black metal project with Eson from Emperor, and I've listened to 2 songs off of it. One has Nurgle from Behemoth in it, and man, it's some crazy stuff.
So think about that, man. You've got Matt Heafy from Trivium, who said without Metallica they would be no Trivium. You know.
Oh, you listen to their earlier stuff, dude. It's his vocals even is just young James Hetfield all the way.
But the crazy thing about it is, though, you see him in Trivium, then to go to take a step deeper and go to make a black album. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what?
Yeah. It's like
didn't see that.
The cool thing about that is also he's I think I want to say his mother was Japanese. I may be wrong about that, but his mother or father I think was Japanese, and the album that he's making right now is really heavily influenced by like Japanese mythology and things like that, like Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I always find that really interesting when a band will do that, like have an album centered around a certain mythology or culture like that.
Look at Sabaton, their new album coming out. They are a theatrical band. I mean, look what they do.
Oh
every album is a concept album. Every single album is about war. Every single album that they do.
It is. I actually saw that they were coming out with new albums. I haven't listened to anything off of it yet, but usually they're a pretty solid band most of the time.
I got to see them Loud or Live several years ago, and
man, I bet I've seen some video, man. They put on a wild live show.
Oh, they do. They put on a phenomenal show. I want to see Amon Amarth. That's who I want to see.
Dude, I've seen them one time, and they are incredible. Awesome live band. They have the Viking ship that the drums sit on and everything.
I had a song. Cool.
They also put out a new song a week or two ago called "Put Your Back Into the Oars," and man, it's so hard. Such a good song.
I know a lot of people's going to be surprised and they're going to be like, you don't like Viking metal, but there's a lot of Viking metal out there that's really good. There's some really good stuff. There's some really good stuff out there for that stuff.
Cannot go wrong with Amon Amarth. Everything that they put out, dude, is so good.
Fit for an Autopsy. They came out with a new album a couple weeks ago. I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
They did.
What the Future Holds.
Yeah.
So that's a good album that came out. Have you listened to anything off it as of yet?
I've heard a couple songs, man. My thing, I'm not so much into like the deathcore as I used to be. Fit for an Autopsy and Whitechapel are two bands that I do still keep up with pretty regularly. Which Whitechapel also have a new album out recently. I think it might have come out at the end of last year, but they Fit for an Autopsy is another band that's kind of incorporated clean singing, which they've been doing for a couple of years now, a few albums. But them and Whitechapel both actually have been doing clean singing with their most recent releases, and it's when it's done well like they do it well. When it's done well like that in heavy music, I think it can absolutely add to it. It's like whole. Go ahead, man.
It's like we were talking about before the podcast here. It's like, how much can you keep doing the same old stuff over and over and over? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
It's just gonna be like, let's try some clean vocals this time. No, what?
That's like, man, like Whitechapel, for instance. If they put out This Is Exile year after year after year, that's gonna get stale.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think that's the reason why those are the only deathcore bands I really keep up with, is because they are kind of moving forward with their sound a little bit.
Man, I wouldn't even give it out a third cycle run. I'd say the third cycle run, you put out another album just like that, album. That third cycle run, be like, come on, man.
Let's start a new band, just an entirely new band.
Yeah, can you tell which song this is? I must have one band that puts out every song sound the same on every single album. I'm not going to mention that band, but can you tell?
Hey, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about, and I'm not gonna open that can of worms. That's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
Another band that I'm shocked that they're putting some stuff out, some old school stuff. Comeback Kid, their old band. They got a new album coming out. So I'm glad to see this coming out. I would like to see, man, I'm going to get into my punk school a little bit here because we're talking about new albums stuff. But I would like to see Rancid come back out with some old stuff style. No FX for sure. MXPX, I'd like to see them come back with some old sounding styles that they used to have. Let's see. Guttermouth is another band. So much good stuff out there. I wish that would come back out. Folks, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat room here. Me and Jordan, we will answer them as best as we can. Or if you want us to cover an album or something, or review an album, please drop it in here. We will review that album and, say, hey, such want us to review this album. So put that in the chat room and we'll be more than happy to. So anyway, back to our little stuff that's coming out here.
And somebody that you're talking about bands going back to their old sound and stuff. Now they've said in press releases as they've talked about their new album that it's going to sound like the old album, but Disturbed are actually writing a new album that they say is going to sound like early Disturbed. And if that's the case, man, I'm all for it. Like 10,000 Fists especially is one of my favorite albums.
I got to see them at Ozfest before they was even big. I mean, honestly, they was on like
that was probably just when they had like the Sickness out and stuff.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. So
probably still had hair and everything then.
No, they brought David Draymond out in a straight jacket, mask, everything like Hannibal Lecter deal.
Oh yeah, they me and my dad we've seen Disturbed 3 times now, and the first time we saw them, they brought him out like that, had the black bite mask, and wheeled him out on a like a dolly and everything.
Yeah. See, I saw him at Ozfest, and I seen him again at Louder in Life, and 2 totally different bands from one.
Yeah, they are now, man. Like after, I want to say after probably Indestructible, they kind of went more. They're more strictly hard rock now.
Well, I'm going to say this right now. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me when I say this, but they're. I mean, Disturbed's okay to me. I can listen to them, but they're more radio friendly than anything now.
Oh, for sure, I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like oh, don't touch that. Don't touch that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to screw this guy's last name up, and I'm so sorry, Adam. But Adam Sidwison, Sunflower Dead, March of the Leaper is an album cannot wait to hear. So we need to. I'll tell you what, Adam, just for you, man. We will review that album once it comes out, and we will do a review on here for it. So
listen to that one. Shoot me a message with that title in it, man, and I'll keep an eye out for that one.
Sunflower Dead is a damn good band. I'll just say that straight up. They are a damn good band. They put on a good show, put on a really good show. They remind me of a young Silverchair when Silverchair was putting out like Frog Stomp, Freak Show, stuff like that. Man alive. I love going back down these hoes like this because this is awesome. Because if everybody knows Silverchair, they know Silverchair of Daniel John Silverchair right now, which is I don't know. Daniel Johns just went out to his own space, man. He just went out to his own level, and but if you go back and listen to Frog Stomp, Freak Show, the early albums from Silverchair, really good stuff, and he just, I don't know, man. I guess his anxiety, Lord God, his anxiety and his, mental health. He had some really, really problems there. I don't know what happened. I just hope the guy got better. When I was younger, and they was talking about it a lot. So he's back doing his own thing, and hey, that's fine. But the old Silverchair stuff is great, really good.
That's great, man. There is another band I wanted to mention. A death metal band, old school sounding death metal. There's a whole revival going on for that right now. A band called Undeath. They're putting out a new album in April, and it's the 2 songs that they've put off have been perfect.
So this is a reunited band coming back together.
No, it's just they're like everybody's bringing back the old school death metal sound, like like the early like Cannibal Corpse and Morbid Angel, stuff like that.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah, it's been coming back for years, dude, and I'm all over it. So happy about that.
Was the big one? Was it 6 Feet Under?
6 Feet Under. Oh my God, dude, that's 6 Feet Under is which did you see what Chris Barnes said recently?
Not recently, no.
Man, so at Knotfest, they had a quote unquote death metal round table, and it had Corpse Grinder, the current Cannibal Corpse vocalist, Chase Mason from Gate Creeper, Alex Jones from Undeath, and Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder. And basically, they just got on and were talking about like how they got into death metal, how they thought the genre was doing right now, and like just having just a cool conversation about death metal. And Chris Barnes, who, for those of you that don't know, was the original Cannibal Corpse vocalist.
Oh Lord, fight at the round table.
Yeah, he got on Twitter right after that and was like, he just said like the video made him physically ill, and he hates what death metal has become and stuff. And yeah, if you listen to 6 Feet Under, like the man has no room to talk about the sound of death metal right now.
I was gonna say 6 Feet Under, is that like the Blink 182 of death metal?
Yeah. He's not good anymore, man. He shouldn't be able to talk about other bands like that. He can't do it. And this is like, I'm a Chris Barnes fan from his early Cannibal Corpse days up until like the third 6 Feet Under band. He was great. Their 6 Feet Under album, sorry, he was great. After that, he's no good.
Well, think about it, man. You do it, like I said. This is a conversation that comes up again. How like I said previously, how long can you keep going vocally doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like over and over.
He absolutely he wore his voice out 100%.
Yeah.
But he's just like, as a vocalist, I've got nothing against the guy, but like as a person, man, he's just not a good person.
Getting to know Jordan, getting to know him.
Yeah, I can. This is death metal, man. That's where my musical inclinations lie more strongly, is death metal and black metal, and everything else is stuff that I've listened to since I was younger, so it's still there. But as I've gotten older, it's more death metal and black metal.
Machine Head's coming out with another album too. Well, last album I wasn't too impressed with. This one, I'm hoping a little bit better.
I've not been too big on Machine Head since like mid 2000s stuff, man. Like I had that one album, like The Blackening or something. I think was that one album. That was the last album I really enjoyed of theirs.
It is cool that you see like Mad Heffy and you see Rob from Machine Head on Twitch. You know, you see a lot of these guys and gals on
Yeah,
Twitch.
dude. He's Matt Heafy especially. He's big into that. Like he's a really big streamer.
Yeah, I mean, look at his followers and stuff he gets, and I only get like one person.
Yeah, I mean that's one more than I've got. I mean,
Oh God, oh man, I've got like 24.
one guy watching this podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, I don't care
My first stream follower.
if there's one person that likes this and watches us and what we do, man. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You don't know how much I appreciate it.
That's new to me.
But it's like, and I understand. I mean, they're celebrities. You know, I understand that they're celebs. So and they're rock stars, stuff like that. But it's funny to see. Like, I go look at mine all the time, thinking I did an awesome stream. Like, man, get some more subscribers. You know, get some more subscribers, get some more people here to interact with, and give stuff away. No, you're still sitting at 24.
Yeah, man. You go look at after that, you go look at Matt Heafy up in the millions, and it's just oh god.
Yeah, it's like nay. It's like, well, I'll keep some of these autographs for me then, maybe. Like, I got a ton of stuff. Once I get these subscribers built up, man, I've got a ton of stuff to give away. Like, I'm giving away tickets to the Trinity, Lord God, I forgot it now. A Trinity of Terror tour that's coming to the Appalachian Wireless Arena. You know, with Motionless and White, Black Veil Brides, and Ice Nine Kills. So I'm giving 2 free tickets away for that, and it's easy to win them. Just subscribe and share. That's all you got to do, and like the page. Which I'll give you more details on that at the end of the show. So it's two.
Yeah, I know a few people probably going to that show.
It's 2 free tickets, man. I mean, how hard is
it?
Oh
yeah, I mean, if you handed me 2 free tickets, I'd go. I don't care who it is.
You just subscribe and your name's entered, and that's it. That's okay. 2 seconds. Click, click, click. Done. All right. So, Korn has put out Requiem.
They did.
That's surprisingly a banger of an album. It's
have you listened to the full album?
It's actually all right, man. I'm surprised.
I've not gotten to listen to that one yet. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good. In my opinion, I think it's pretty good. Korn kind of sounds like old Korn in a way, but still new stuff.
So that was my next question: is what direction are they going? Are they going kind of going back to older sound or newer sound, or
a mixture of both? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I understand, like I said previously many times, I understand bands wanting to grow and bands wanting to do their own thing and sound different and not have the same album put out every 15 years or whatever. But, you know, yeah, they did pretty good on this. And I hope Fieldy is getting himself straight, because I know he's not with the band right now. He hasn't left the band or isn't kicked out of the band or anything like that. He's getting himself mentally fixed. So
that's the thing too, man. That you know, we talk about bands not wanting to do the same thing over and over again. The other side is, you know, mental health takes a pretty big toll on a lot of artists, and especially coming out of the pandemic. You know, that was rough on a lot of people too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that does go on for sure. Let's see who else. Man, there's so many bands on here. Venom Prison is another one that's coming out.
Oh, dude. Great album.
How do you pronounce that? Erebos?
Yeah, Erebos. Yeah, earbud. Meant to be listened on earbuds.
That's what it looks like.
Optimized for.
What impressed you with that album?
Honestly, that's another band that has incorporated clean vocals and done in a really good way. Like the song, I know I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this, but "Pain of Oasis" is I think I might have actually got it right. But the pain that song is a really good song. She clean vocals through a lot of it. Yeah, the singer is a woman. Got really good clean vocals. Her screams are still good, which is something you kind of worry about when bands start to do the clean vocals. Maybe their screams aren't that good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it sounds really good, man. The production is really good. A step up from their last album, which was also a really good album. But as far as I'm concerned, man, it was an improvement all across the board on this album.
Once Human, their album dropped, Scar Weaver. That album's a good album from Once Human. You got Call of Luna, The Long Road North, that's out. Zeal and
Heard a lot of good stuff about that Cult of Luna album. I've not listened to it, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Zeal and Ardor, probably pronounced that wrong. That's a self-titled, I think it's out. Hangman's Chair, A Loner, that's out or getting ready to come out. Let's see who else I wrote down here. The Who, they've got their second album coming out. The Who, the HU, the Who, not the Who.
Man, they do the Mongolian throat singing a whole lot and stuff.
Yeah, you was thinking of actually like the Who, like
I was like the Who, like I was like, aren't half of them like dead or something?
Oh God, probably.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean,
going back to the 80s here for the 80s people out there who still dig the 80s, which I'm still repping Poison shirt, which I don't care. Scorpions, Rock Believer, and you're repping Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Boy, Metal God. I like Dragon Ball Z. Everybody.
Dragon Ball Z, man. Not watched it. Watch it.
Scorpions, Rock Believer. That is coming out soon, actually. And like we just talked about, Corpse Grinder and Sabaton, Creator. That's they're coming out with a new album.
Oh, dude, love them. They've not had one out. 2017, I think, was their last album.
Several years, yeah, you're right. Several years.
And Gods of Violence, it was.
This is my thing, and for the ones who actually watch and listen to my interviews when I post on Mondays for BODS Mayhem Hour, is a lot of these bands. It shocks me that they've got so much music written and ready to go throughout all this pandemic, which I mean, all you can do at this time is basically record music and whatever to make money. But a lot of them said they've got several EPs. One band said they had enough stuff for 4 albums. I mean, think about this, man. There's a lot of great music that's coming out now, and these albums are sounding more fulfillment wise, if that makes sense. They sound more actually took time to work on besides something.
Yeah, so you look at, I mean, what have bands specifically that is their full-time thing, what have they been able to do the past 2 years?
Right.
All they've been able to do is write music, record music, and there's a lot of, I'm not gonna say that the pandemic terrible thing, but like music wise, man, there's been a lot of good and positivity that has come out of it.
Yeah, like there've been a lot of side projects that's kind of shocked me, and hey, like I said, we'll see what comes out of all this, because like they all say all the music is going to come out, but who knows when that full swing of full touring starts to get back together with normal life gets back together, kind of, and we'll see where their mind is to see if those albums actually do come out, because you're going to see a total difference in albums. I think like you're going to see like the pandemic version of the albums and sounding wise versus normalcy stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen.
It will be. Now you brought that up, it will be interesting to see how because like I said, for 2 years, all they've been able to do is sit and write and perfect what they're doing, versus pressure from labels. You got to put this out, go tour on it, and basically having a deadline to do it.
Somebody is sad on my BODS Mayhem Hour live post on here. Oh, I'm sorry that it made you sad.
Never like that.
But we're pretty happy. I'm glad everybody who's in here watching, listening. I appreciate you. So
any emotion you feel, bring it on.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Like I said, for 2 years, all they've been able to do is sit and write and perfect what they're doing. Whoa.
Sorry, I had to close that out. Yeah, that opened up.
Is that how I sound?
Well, yeah. Oh, trust me, man. The first time I did an interview, when I went back and listened to it, I was like, "Oh my god, that sounds horrible." I mean, I had to physically sit down. I was like, I got sick. I was like, "Do I really want to do this?" I was like, yeah, I do. I don't care." When you get to that point where you just don't care, I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, that's. I'll be playing PlayStation, got my headset on. I'll be like talking into it and everything. Everybody's like, "Yeah, where are you from?" And I'm like, "It's that obvious, isn't it?"
Oh god, I'm from my mama.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the band that everybody says this album's going to sound like a certain album. I'm going to drop it here in just a minute, but when you catch that classic sound on an album that makes that album one of the great albums, it's hard to go back and catch that actual sound in that moment of that album to recreate that sound again. It's very hard. And that is Slipknot's Iowa. Slipknot's getting ready to come out with a new album, or they're working on a new album, and everybody's like, it's going to sound like Iowa, or you hear somebody that's heard something say, it sounds like Iowa, and you go listen to it, and it's like, that sounds like something out of Wyoming or somewhere. I mean, what the hell? It's like nothing like Iowa. But, again, these bands grow and they keep going. But I like the last album that Slipknot put out. I loved it. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good album too. And the Chapel Town Rag is a great song.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, would I like to see another Iowa album come out by them? Yes and no. Yeah, for the sound line, but two, I don't want to repeat of another album. You know what I mean?
Did you say Wyoming? It sounds like it come out of Wyoming.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like everybody.
That's what they should call the next album is Wyoming. It's almost Iowa.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. They're gonna kill me now. They're gonna kill me. But
yeah, Slipknot fans. I mean, you saw what they did to Machine Gun Kelly, man. You make them mad.
Yeah, but I love Slipknot. That's not. I mean, I love Slipknot, but going back and capturing the same sound on Iowa and making another Iowa album, who knows?
You got it. I mean, there's never going to be another Iowa album because just knowing what was going on with the band at that time too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like a lot of. I mean, you can hear it in the album. Just a lot of anger, and Corey Taylor was, down in bottles of Jack Daniels a day at the time. I mean, it was a completely different. Yeah, you're not going to get another Iowa. Like, there's no way.
That whole band was going through something at that time. I mean, just personally.
Oh yeah, everybody was. I mean, you'll never get another album like
that. This band headlines every tour, festival, everything. But everybody likes them. It was Avenged Sevenfold. They're coming out with a new album. So yeah.
I feel like you have some unsaid thoughts on Avenged Sevenfold there.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Moving on. With the board here. Arch Enemy, Deceivers. I think that album's already out, if I'm not mistaken, or getting ready to come out.
Man, that's they're a band that I haven't liked since they changed vocalists.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because of the female vocalist? Is it just not? This doesn't.
Oh no, like they're old. Like Angela Gossow was when she was in the band. Like a Doomsday Machine was a great album, but the new one, man, Alyssa something. I can't think of what her last name is, but I can't. I'm not like she doesn't sound bad. It's the music itself. I can't get into it.
It's like once you're settled into one vocalist's sound and how they sound with the band, it's hard to actually like the other vocalist that comes in to replace them. It's like, and I'm going to say this shut down. I don't care if people like it or not, but this is God's honest truth. You've got when Lane Staley passed away. They brought in William DeVall and Alice in Chains. If you close your eyes, there's really no difference. You can tell a little bit of difference in the vocals, but not much.
Well, I can kind of attest to that a little bit because my dad and I we saw Alice in Chains with Korn at Riverbend a few years ago, and I mean they sound great. Like William DuVall did a really good job, even on like the really like the parts in like Man in a Box, for instance, like the really high stuff. Man, like it sounded fine. Did a really good job.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. The classic hits from Alice in Chains that William has done, they've been perfect. You know,
I see my dad just sent me a message came through that said Sammy Hagar was better than David Lee Roth and Van Halen. I disagree, and that's all I'm going to say.
Oh man, I don't. Oh, I'm on the fence with that one because they both are good vocalists. There's the Hagar version and there's the David Lee Roth version. You know what I mean?
They became a completely different band though with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
They 1984, man, was a fun album. David Lee Roth was a fun vocalist.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. The Showman. He's all
absolutely, man. Like, yeah, he might not have sounded great, but like he was fun.
He put on a show. He did put on a show. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Adam, you are exactly right, my friend. This is a band that I've been in love with for the last several years. And when I got to see them louder in life, I was like a kid in a candy store. Man, I had goosebumps on my arms watching them play. And Ghost. I know a lot of people hate Ghost. They can hate them. I don't care. I like Ghost. They're great. Emperor. I cannot. Emperor. What an Emperor. Yeah, the Emperor. Good Lord. It's not my night to talk, man. Ghost Emperor. That is an album that I am really, really anxious to hear. And Little Miss Sunshine. Oh my God. That single is good. I don't care. I like Ghost. I like everything about it.
So, I respect your opinion.
Jordan actually likes them. Trust me. He'll like them. By the time he hangs out with me and all this stuff, he's going to be like, dude, I actually like Ghosts. I'll be like, I told you, man. I told you.
I respect people's opinions.
Oh, God. Lord. There's going to be a fight in the Pinson house about Van Halen lead vocalist. Oh, David Lee Roth.
So I'm pretty sure my girlfriend agrees with me. I'm pretty sure she thinks David Lee Roth too. Yeah.
Oh my God. Moving on from being on the episode of Maury Povich or anything like that. Meshuggah has a new album coming out, and I ain't gonna pronounce it right. Imitable, whatever. They need to just make these songs or these album titles where you can just say what it is, besides having like thesaurus it and all that crap.
It's the. So you want them to have the English translation of these albums? That just don't sound as cool.
It's immutable is what it is. There, I got it out that time. Immutable.
So it is an English word. You just couldn't say it.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not going to say another album that I couldn't pronounce that my buddy Josh Crum laughed his ass off about. But that's not even. I'm gonna do that.
Have you listened to anything off of that album yet that they've released?
I've not listened to anything from Meshuggah here lately. No, I've not.
It's pretty good, man.
I'm catching up. Just trust me, I'm catching up. So
it is pretty good.
So supposedly Clutch is in the works with a new album too. Clutch hasn't come out with anything in a while.
So they're always a pretty solid band too.
Yes, they are. Seen them several times. And here's an album that I'm very, very seriously looking forward to because I want to see how it sounds after the whole David Ellefson incident and all that stuff, removing his bass. And this album is Megadeth. Yeah, Megadeth, The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead. I'm very anxious to see how this sounds, so we'll see how this goes. Well, you man.
That reminds me, there's the tour right now that Megadeth is on with Lamb of God and Trivium and one other band. They're a fairly well-known band too. I just can't think of who they are right now, but that's a tour I really want to check out, like try to catch somewhere.
Ozzy's new album. I can't wait for that album to come out. The previous album.
Oh man, I hope it's better than the last one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll respect your thoughts on that. Move on because I thought it was great. I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but I guess it's like the whole saying again. It's not Ozzy unless it's got Randy or if it's got Zach or it doesn't have that Ozzy-esque sound. But
That's not it. As long as it's Ozzy on vocals, then it's Ozzy.
it's
But
good.
I couldn't. I don't know, man. I couldn't. It had. I mean, it had its moments where I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But I mean, other than like those couple of moments, man, I couldn't get behind it.
Okay. Rammstein is supposedly Rammstein's another band that's working on a new album, so there's stuff coming from Rammstein. I like what I'm seeing here because there's a lot of stuff that's promising. Judas Priest, they're supposedly working on another album.
I did see that.
Yeah, how
That's
crazy, man!
It's really going to be something to check out. Iron Maiden. Did you listen to their new album?
Not yet. No, like I said, I'm catching up on stuff where I had to do 3 podcasts. I'm working. I'm trying. Trust me, I will catch up on all this stuff for sure.
And just multitask. Podcast while you're at work. Listen to music. Listen to music afterwards.
Devin Townsend's got a new album coming out. That's Devin Townsend's a great artist. If you like stuff by him, guitar wise, he never puts out a bad album. I don't care what anybody says.
He's a super talented guy.
Body Count.
I see.
That band has really grown on me a lot, man. I mean, they bring it. They just bring it and they're good. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It's Ice-T. How can it not go hard? Like, how can they not bring it?
Yep. Demu Burger. It's been a long time from is it her? Yeah, it's her. It's been a long time for them too, right?
I think so. I want to say 18 or 19, I think was their last one.
I was going back to 2015. I guess
it might actually be 15 now that I think about it.
It was a very long time for this band. Another band, man, is Code Orange. Code Orange is an awesome band.
That's a band. I got to see them with a Kill Switch way back in the early days, and they put on a really good show.
Have you heard anything of Kerry King's new project, supposedly?
No, and I really want to because I love Kerry King, but I'm super upset that Slayer called it quits that early. Which, I mean, early being relative, obviously, because they've been going for 30 plus years. But
yeah. Kerry King was in Megadeth for like 10 minutes.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was shocked too when I was reading about that a very long time ago. I was like, Kerry King was in Megadeth? What?
I had no idea.
Yeah, for like 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
What's even weirder is looking at pictures of Kerry King with hair.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
he used to have hair and no beard.
Don't even talk about beardless. I don't.
I mean, you got a whole Scott Ian thing going though with the. I respect it.
This goatee was longer than this, and I was like, no, I gotta cut it.
You should have left it, man. Like, you could have braided it, anything.
It was very long. I was like, no. Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators 4 album. That's really good, man. Miles Kennedy is a phenomenal musician, and going with Slash on this and this band. Last couple albums they put out, all these albums that they put out has been great to me.
What do you think about the 2 Guns N' Roses songs that have been out?
Yeah. I like them. I do. I'm an old sucker for like Guns N' Roses stuff, man. I would like to see them come out with a new album. I mean, I would personally, just as a Guns N' Roses fan.
Oh yeah, I would love to see a new Guns N' Roses album. One song, I think "Old School" is definitely my favorite of the 2. The other one, I didn't care a whole lot for the other one. But they're a band, man, that I would love to see live, but it all depends on Axl Rose.
Wait, so would you want to see them now, or would you want to see them back in the early day when they was God? I mean, like,
back in absolutely back in the early 90s, dude, I would have killed to see Guns N' Roses.
God, yeah. Like Appetite for Destruction. That's
God, yeah, dude. right after Appetite came out, that would have been great. The same with Motley Crue, really. I know they're going on tour this summer. I will not go see Motley Crue though.
Vince can sing. There's nothing wrong with that.
I won't do it. I won't do it. It'll hurt me. It will hurt me to see Vince Neil sing those songs the way that he has been.
Yeah. Woo! Everybody, yeah. Yeah, it's painful to watch some of the newer videos that's come out with him, and it's sad because Vince man could really sing. I thought, but hey, it's Motley Crue. If someone gave me a free ticket, I'd go watch. I wouldn't turn it down.
Absolutely. I mean, for free, if I didn't have to pay anything, I would totally go see Motley Crue. But I can't justify spending money on Vince Neil doing that.
I'm totally upset that I had just got out of the hospital and Quiet Riot was in Prestonsburg.
They were. I don't remember what I was. I think I was at work and didn't feel like driving to Prestonsburg after I got off.
I was so upset because I was like, I want to see Quiet Riot. I mean, when can you say that Quiet Riot's coming back to Prestonsburg, Kentucky to play a show? You know what I'm saying? Because Johnny Kelly, the mighty Johnny Kelly, who's been with Type O Negative, everybody just about, But God, I was like, why am I in the hospital? Why did this have to happen? I want out of here. I want to go see Quiet Riot. And supposedly, man, there was a really good crowd down there for this. Johnny was even impressed with it. He's like, I was shocked. Oh, wow. Yeah, and he's like, man, they were singing song for song. So I was like, that's awesome, Man,
I really would have loved to have seen Come On Feel the Noise and Bang Your Head.
No, I can't even talk about Bang Your Head with that here. I can't. I'll make a song and everybody get pissed about it. But anyway, some old school punkish metal is Voivod, Synchro Anarchy. They're coming out with that. I think that album's already out. We got some others I'm going to just go ahead and run through right quick because we're going to talk about one of the, in my book, top 3 albums of all time that really changed a bit.
Man, yeah, I forgot all about that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Meshuggah is another band for everybody to check out, which we just talked about. Coheed and Cambria. I don't know if you dig them or not, Jordan, but I do. Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind, another concept album that band's coming out with. Guar, The New Dark Ages. Another favorite band of mine, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Unlimited Love. And they got John Frusciante. Yeah, they got John Frusciante back on guitar, man. And
I saw that, man.
That's the Chili Peppers. Gotta have
Frusciante. That's awesome. That's the same thing with Slash, dude. When Slash came back with Guns N' Roses, that was it.
Yep. And it's so cool that they finally got over their differences, man. And then sadly, it took that freaking long to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. That was
some of the most stupid, idiotic stuff that these bands.
Those egos, man, like that's exactly what's going on with like the whole Kiss situation and Ace Frehley and Peter Criss.
Yeah. Well, that's on.
It's not a new thing. It's been going on for years, but
that's on another level. That's all about money and all that stuff.
Yeah. Rights and everything, credits.
Yeah, I mean, you boys are Kiss. There's no shape, form, fashion around it. Gene, Ace, Paul, Peter. That's Kiss. That hands down. Just get over it.
Unless you ask Paul Stanley or Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Anyway, today marks the 30th anniversary of Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power album that was released. And boy, did this album change the game for metal music. And to me, this album came out at a time when metal music kind of needed a savior in a way. I mean, these guys, when they came in and dropped this album, I mean, they kicked the door wide freaking open and said, metal's back, baby. It's like they owned it. Pantera just kicked ass when they dropped this album.
I mean, just start like just that album cover, dude. Just guy getting punched right in the face, man. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, that's what the album was, man. You put the album on, and that's get punched in the face.
It's funny though that if anybody who sat down and went back and tried to discover some of the old Pantera stuff, is they were glam rockers, man. Before, um, you know, Cowboys from Hell was kind of going that direction of the heavy stuff. Oh yeah, Adam dropped in again and said D. Snyder solo albums are good, great. My first rock star role model. Hey, D. Snyder, there you go, man.
Dee Snider, he's got Corpse Grinder on one of those songs. Great
Mm-hmm.
song.
Yeah, his new album, Leave a Scar, that's out. So, and I think he just released a new song called Stand. That's about uh, the fire that happened up in was it Rhode Island or New York?
Oh yeah, the Great White Show.
Yes, well, the pyrotechnics want to do.
Yeah. I forgot what the place was called. I just read up on it actually the other day.
Yeah.
But that's a terrible story, man. Like
Senseless, man. Senseless. People lost their lives going to watch a rock concert. I mean,
it was, dude, and like
to go and enjoy a show and you lose your life, it's just that makes me upset.
that's a whole. We could do a whole other conversation about that. But yeah, it was bad time. So, the station, that's what it was. The station.
So when this album dropped, Vulgar Display of Power, I mean, you look at the track, like you said, the album cover, man. If anybody didn't know Pantera and saw that album cover, it's like, all right, this is pretty good. You start looking at the back and looking at the cover of the songs, it's like Mouth for War, A New Level, Fucking Hostile, This Love, Rise, Live in a Hole. You got By Demons Be Driven, Regular People, Hollow. My God. I know Walk is the big song on here, but for me, I like By Demons Be Driven, man. That song is a sleeper on this album to me.
Man, when I was, like I said, I was sitting on the PlayStation playing through the record again, and you get to like on A New Level, man. It's got a ripper of a solo in it too, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's. I'm not gonna say that's when Dime come into his guitar levels, I should say. I know I'm not making sense when I say that, but I don't know, man. Dime was a secret hidden gem in a way, because once you started finding out about Pantera and going back and list all the other stuff, I mean, his guitar playing was just like, damn, man, this is.
That's the thing. Dime was like all across all of their albums, he was solid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the thing about the Vulgar Display of Power is that's what really brought in like the groove and the heaviness that like Pantera became known for, like on down the road. Like
yeah,
like you said, like Cowboys from Hell, they still had a little bit of that glam aspect to them, like especially Phil's vocals in that album. But you look at like when Vulgar Display of Power came out, man, it was just like raw, just like angry stuff.
Well, it's like this album was I guess a flagship of saying we're here and we're going to carry metal and we're going to bring it back. Come with us or not, we're going to kick everybody's ass, and that's exactly what they did. This was no BS. When you seen this band live play, and I did, they brought it, man. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's like back in the day when you see albums and you start listening to bands, it's like kind of scary a little bit. Like, oh God, I don't know if I really want to meet this guy. You know what I mean? It takes that mystique away. But then when you see it, it's like in live, it's like, yes, sir. This is it's good stuff. But like I said, man, these guys, when this album was released, they carried the torch and the flag for metal, man, for several years after that. And I think Metallica was still doing the Black Album at that time, Yeah,
they were.
So
I think Load and Reload, I think that was 96 and 97 when that came out.
Yeah, that was longer. That was down the pipe before that came out.
But now you look at like in the 90s, man, there wasn't a whole lot of metal like that, because that was grunge was a big thing then, and You look like Judas Priest had Painkiller come out in 91. Iron Maiden, man, that's when Bruce left, and I don't like talking about no Bruce Iron Maiden, but it's like, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of like pure like heavy metal going on at the time when that album came out.
No, I'm trying to think if there was, but there were some good albums released in in '92 on February 5th. But as far as like a game changer for music, no.
Oh yeah.
This album was like, whoa. I know several of my friends, the first album they bought was Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. That was their first metal album, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy to even think. Like, Pantera was your first metal album that you bought?
Yeah, because like it's like we were talking about before. Like by today's standards, it's not like super heavy or anything. I mean, it's still heavy, but like back, when it came out, there was very little like that.
Oh, when it was back in the day like that, dude, that was heavy.
Oh yeah.
But now, like we talked about before, by today's standards, no. But that album is so pure, man, and it's so. I hate to keep saying this over and over. It's so good, but it's so pure. It was an album that made a statement that for metal, and Phil changing his vocals, and that band kind of doing like a total 360 of a sound and image. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
it's like
you look even like the Cowboys from Hell cover, like Phil had long hair and everything, and
yeah, and Vinny jumping in the air and Dime on they're in a bar. I mean, it's like makes sense for Cowboys from Hell. That's a great album too.
Oh yeah, not taking away from that.
But you see the transition. You can hear it in that album, Cowboys from Hell to Vulgar Display. You can hear the transition of their sound going to Vulgar Display. At least I can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you add Phil's vocals that just got heavier and heavier, man. Just it fit. I mean, it fit perfect. And just everybody who was a metalhead at that time needed another band to grab onto to carry that torch. And I've said that many times through many years with this album. And that's the one. That's it. Pantera made a huge statement with this album, and I'm glad that it's still around. I'm glad that people are still affected by this and the impact that the album's made on everybody and the music world.
That's like yeah, again, man, there was just not a whole lot at that time that meant as much to metal as that. Like if you were like, unless you, because at the time like death metal and black metal stuff was real underground, if you were not like keen on that kind of stuff, then there was really nothing for you until Pantera dropped that album.
Right, yeah, exactly. All right, folks, it is time for us to get out of here on the podcast. I want to thank my co-host, Jordan Pinson, for being on here with me. Jordan's gonna be on here every Friday when he can, and we're gonna be talking to bands, all this stuff. So join us, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, BODS Mayhem Hour. Look that up on YouTube. Subscribe to us, please. I would tremendously appreciate it because I'm at 714 subscribers, which that's great, but I need more. I need more. But anyway,
please, may I have some more?
Yeah, so please. Next Friday we're gonna have a band on here called Titanosaur. They're gonna be on here. We're gonna be talking to those guys, and Jordan will be back with me. So every Friday, 8 o'clock, folks, we'll be on here. If you have any questions or anything whatsoever, please drop them in the chat room. We'll answer them as best we can and do everything we can for you guys. So each and every single person out there who listened and came by this evening, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And I know Jordan does too. So
absolutely.
Jordan, man, thanks for co-hosting. And folks, we will see you next Friday and this Monday. Keep a look on the Facebook page for BODS Mayhem Hour. I'll have another cool interview coming up for you cats out there. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you next Friday. And have a good weekend. Please have a good weekend.
Rock and roll.